I was minding my own business in 2001. It was July of 2001, and I got this random call from this guy who I thought his name was Elon Musk, and that's what he said. I didn't know what PayPal was, right? I was working for a university-owned space lab at the time, and we were building a lot of things for the military, and mostly imagers and some satellite stuff. And I was Friday afternoon, I was driving home, and the phone rings, and I answered it, talked to him for a few minutes, and telling him, hey, I can't hear you. I had the top down on the car. It was a nice day, and it was, up there in Logan, Utah, it's beautiful in the summertime, and you always have the top down if you can. So he called me back about 20 minutes later. I tried calling him, and I got the number he called me on was his fax machine. And I made for those of you who don't remember, it makes a screeching, piercing noise. And I thought, okay, he told me he was a billionaire, blah, 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 PayPal. I didn't know any of this stuff. So I got a phone call from him about 20 minutes later, and he's upset. And so he explained to me, that was his cell phone, and he had he called from his fax machine, so people didn't bother him on his cell phone when they called back. So anyhow, long story short, he starts telling me about his whole desire to go to Mars and make humanitarian, multiplanetary. That was like, he's got this speech, my first goal in life is to make humanity multiplanetary. My second goal in life is to get humanity's addiction to fossil fuel ended. And the third plan for my life is to stop tyrants from controlling free speech. He thinks these are the three pillars of the survival of humanity, right? And so he said, I want to do this Mars mission, to address this, to inspire people to want to go to Mars. Would you help me? I need Russian rockets, and I'm told you're the guy that knows. And oddly enough, yes, I did know about Russian rockets, and I could call up the Russians and talk to them about this. So I said, sure, I'll help you. He wanted to come to my home. I wouldn't let him. In fact, I lied to him. He said, do you have an airport? And I said, yeah, I can see it from my front porch. And he says, great, I have a private aircraft. I'll fly in and I'll come to your house. And I'm thinking, no, you're not coming to my house. I have young kids, and I don't know who this guy is. He could be a lunatic, right? For all I knew. I mean, it's funny in retrospect, right? But that's how my thinking was. So I told him, I said, look, let's meet in Salt Lake City behind security. That was pre 9/11, so we could do that. And my theory was he couldn't pack a gun or any other weapon easily. And there were police nearby. So this was kind of my standard MO for meeting people like this that I didn't know. And so we did. We met in a conference room there. And he brought in his friend Adeo Ressi. And it turns out my friend Bob Zubrin was a part of this whole thing. So Bob had started the Mars Society. And when Elon left PayPal, he decided to go, put a $10,000 donation in the Mars Society donation jar at one of their meetings. And so that's how Bob led him to me.